Today we have Eric Chebil, founder and CEO of Share. Eric, welcome.
It's terrific to be here, Marco. Thank you. I'm looking forward to this opportunity.
Awesome. So you founded two companies in the real estate space, Share and Nest Navigate. Can you walk us through your role and how these companies complement each other?
Absolutely. And so, my role specifically has been it's as CEO and founder for both. But I think the best way to describe how I came to both companies would be able to tell a little bit more of a story and describe more in a bit more detail. So I personally, as founder, I went to school at University of Washington, studied construction engineering, double minored architecture finance. So I've been heavily involved in real estate. I earned my real estate broker's license and my mortgage loan originator's license back in 2014. So I was one of the youngest real estate brokers at the time. I'm a little older now. I'm 34, so it's time goes by, right? But through those experiences, I worked at large brokerages. I worked at the largest general contracting company on the West Coast, a company named Swinnerton Builders. And I've always been passionate about just the real estate space and helping others. So I first uh, started my first company called Chebil Realty. I wasn't very creative on the name, to be frank, Marco. I think I was kind of in a hurry. So that is where we had about 12 realtors. We were profitable, had good cash flow. We ended up exiting that company, and we took some of those people from Chebil Realty ultimately over to Share. And we all had the same vision. And so I've been fortunate enough to surround myself with people who I would say, a lot of them are very intelligent and smarter in areas that I simply just, I'm not. So I find it to be, you don't want to be the smartest person in the room. And at Share, what drives us and I think what keeps us very successful is first from a company cultural standpoint, we always proactively say that there is no wrong idea here at Share, but we need to make data-driven decisions. So great ideas can come from anywhere. It's not coming from the CEO or the founder, and it should never be like that. And that's just how I've learned success. And with Share, we have seen great success, and I can dive into that in a bit. But my role right now is, as a founder, I wear a lot of different hats with Share. It's managing broker, uh, growing the team, being on podcasts like yours, and getting the name out that we provide fantastic loans, very unique for a lot of first-time home buyers, given that majority are gig workers. They don't fall under the traditional larger lending institution cookie cutter brand. So that's where we're able to step in and help them, along with we also help with something called co-ownership. So co-ownership, simply put, is just where more than one person buys a home. So a friend or a family member, and we actually are the leaders teaching co-ownership, where our IP for our courses are actually sold. We sold it to California Association of Realtors, so they actually teach this through a revenue sharing partnership we have with them to all realtors across California, and it was the number one selling course for the last 2 years. So with Share, I wear a lot of different hats, and we continue to see growth. Right now we're a team of about 65, but based off the sheer number of applications coming in, we expect to be closer to 110, 120 staff members by the end of this year. So very excited for Share, no doubt.
Cool. Um, yeah, your background in construction engineering is interesting. Does that technical foundation inform your approach to real estate technology?
You've heard that saying where only 10% of what you learn in college applies, but it does and it doesn't. I think from a managerial standpoint, it does. At an early age, when I had to manage billion-dollar companies, you have to coordinate the work and deal with people who are much older, much bigger, a little more hard-headed than you. So when you're dealing with 120 people, managing them at when you're 24, 25, that can be challenging. I think the key things from working and getting that experience at this GC and other GCs I've worked for is scheduling is absolutely critical. So what is on what is on the sprint path, and what is the bottleneck? And that goes, I think, with most companies, especially with startups, and budgeting, of course, and also management. So how do you get more people incentivized without it just being financially motivating? Because we've seen today financials, like just improving someone's pay, even if they're miserable, is not going to necessarily keep them at their job. It's just going to prolong it.
Right. Of course. You've been featured in Forbes for your innovative approach to housing, which is incredible recognition, by the way. What major shifts are you seeing in the real estate industry right now that other people might be missing?
It would be around I would say a few different things to top it off. As of Friday, so that would be I think August 9th or so, or 10th. So that was the record high for debt for the US. It was, I believe it's around 31 trillion. All right. So people need to understand how to balance their money just better. And there's a lot of startups out there, and I'm not meaning to discredit them, and no intention am I, but there's a lot of companies out there that are providing this cash upfront with no ramifications and very little, essentially background check. And what's leading to that is the inability to ever buy a home. So I think people need to be much more cognizant. Our target audience are these first-time home buyers, and if you've have you heard of Coachella, the big music festival, Marco?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so if you've heard the statistic is that around 65% of all attendees are actually borrowing money from financial tech companies to go to Coachella. And the majority of that 65% have actually, this is their fourth concert still in debt. And so they simply cannot pay off their tickets. And so I think people need to be much more aware of the the overall consumer price index, and just be aware. I mean, that's key, because who knows what's going to happen with rates from there. And also, going back to rates are, I know they're high at the moment, but we come across this regularly where first time home buyers, they believe that I want to wait until rates drop. And the problem with that misconception is that when rates drop, every home buyer is thinking the exact same thing. Let's go and buy. And so you're going to likely pay around 15-20% over asking, whatever the purchase price was. So it's a lot of cash that you have to come up front. In lieu of, if you buy homes now, you don't have to wait that period of time, gain equity, and you can do a refinance and get better terms as the rates drop. And so I think those are the two huge things that the average consumer or home buyer, first time home buyer, should absolutely be aware of.
Right. And yeah, I guess to follow up on that, the housing affordability crisis is obviously impacting everyone in real estate.
Yeah.
How has this shaped your product development and business strategy?
We are leaning more, so either it's in mobile homes, we're seeing a higher demand in mobile homes, along with co-ownership. That's definitely how we're able to grow our team well and get more buyers aware. But there are homes that are affordable. We're just we need to go more in affordable areas. So living in California, for instance, the average home price is about $1 million. But there are homes out there that we do regularly that are 600, $700,000. So I know that for many first-time home buyers, they think that's you're going to live in a shack, but that's not the truth. There are beautiful homes, and for many people who can work from home, it's a great opportunity. You can build equity, and it's you have a pool, a nice size area, and maybe an hour drive, right? So if you need to go to the ocean, so I think people need to be a little more open about what a home is, what a starter home is, and it's not necessarily where your parents kind of grew up, where they could afford a nice home as a waiter or waitress. It just doesn't exist like that anymore. So we need to kind of adjust our perception of things.
Mm. Um, okay, well, let's move over to AI and the technology adoption. Um, Nest Navigate uses AI-driven personalized courses. Obviously, AI is transforming everything right now. It seems like. Where do you see AI playing the biggest role in transforming education and transactions?
That is such a valuable piece of intel here. And to explain a little bit more about Nest Navigate, because I didn't answer your question initially, is Nest Navigate is a newer company that I founded, and what it allows home buyers to do, to be clear, is it's an educational technology platform, and it allows home buyers to come to the platform, learn our AI-driven courses that are customized to you based off of your level of education and your style of learning. So you can actually change the type of avatar, the AI avatar that you're looking for, whether it's robotic or more human-like, and essentially it allows you to be more engaged. But the main one of the main advantages is not a lot of people love to learn on their own. So we have actually gamified it where you can compete with one another through actually quiz battles. You have these different challenges. There's a leaderboard as well, and so the winner, whoever's on the leaderboard with the most Nest coins, actually get either gift cards or additional Nest coins where they are redeemable for some of our partners. So a few of our partners include, furniture companies, home improvement, cleaning services. So if you're a renter looking to own a home, you can actually start using your benefits now. And you can also later on, if you want to save it, you can use that working. And if you do want to work at Share and use those Nest coins, you'll get discounted either loan services or realtor services. So that's Nest Navigate. It's an exciting way to learn and get rewarded at the same time. And to answer your question, Marco, is how do we use AI? Absolutely hard on the educational curriculum. Right now, education, I mean, the big exit was Duolingo for edtech, and we find that there's a lot of information that seems to just kind of be just it goes over people's head. So, what's an exciting and engaging way for people to keep informed? And we believe we've come up with a solution. We've done a tremendous amount of studies, and what we found is that a human just teaching the course, you're not able to retain it nearly as well. And actually, even using animals is actually the worst way. It contrary to I was convinced, but I got the studies out, and it fully supports the exact opposite. So we're not using any animals to teach it. So yeah, that's how we're using AI there, and also importantly, a home buyer when they come to our platform for Nest Navigate and or Share, you can ask questions to the AI chatbot, which we built through ChatGPT. We found based off data and surveying people, a lot of first-time homebuyers actually don't feel comfortable asking their realtor or loan officer specific questions. I can't say as to why, but I believe it's maybe they feel it's not around confidentiality. I think it's around they may feel like it's a silly question, and so with this AI bot, it allows people to ask questions more freely.
Good answer. Yeah. So, I mean, to expand on that, what's working well for that gamified approach, and what's been more challenging?
Let's start with the more challenging is feature bloat. If you want to add, everything sounds fun and cool, and we want to continue to build, a sticky game. But the problem is, you know, the end of their goal is, we hope that their goal, right, is to eventually buy a home. And a problem has been that they potential home buyers spend a lot of time on our platform. If I believe it's too much time, either playing games and it's great that they're learning, but we want them to buy a home. And so it's great that they're getting rewards and things like this. But we don't want to make it too fun is, I guess, the point. So it's that balance between, are we more a game or are we more ed tech? And we're more ed tech. The whole goal of this is to help people become more financially literate and not get further into debt. So that's been the problem. And what's been working, just surveying our consumers or home buyers regularly, along with having a bit of competition, providing people to essentially rewarding them to compete, see who's more knowledgeable. I think that's been a great incentive because regardless of what game you play, I don't know, Marco, if you have any games on your phone or, but typically there's going to be like a leaderboard, right? And you have a username. It's not your real name, I assume. So even if your username is shown, you feel like, oh yes, like I did it. I'm first place. So does it mean anything? It means something to you. So that's what's important.
Great. So what are you most focused on improving in both companies, in terms of, growth, execution, or whatever you're seeing?
Yeah. With Share specifically, our sales team growth, we have about 1,000 applications a year. And so it's manageable and scalable growth that is reflective of our company culture. That's what I think a key element. We are in a hyper growth stage at the moment. And so making sure what are their short term goals, long term goals, and we want to grow organically. And so from a managerial standpoint, like we always look for people who are, they're applying for sales, but do they have management experience and can we plug them into a fast growing company? So that's definitely the priority right now with Share. Uh, with Nest Navigate, the priority is technology building right now. So we are about 2 months away from our beta release. And along with creating mobile applications for Android and iOS. So heavily on the downloadable applications and also being very cognizant of we don't want to do a feature, like features are not products. So we need to be very, very clear on what we're building. That's a priority.
Great. So where do you want to see both companies in 6 to 12 months? What would success look like for you in a year's time from now?
A year's time from now, hopefully I can be competing with, Elon Musk to the moon, or Mars, right? But uh, what success is for me would be having a strong exit with Share as the market hopefully cooperates a bit more for founders. It's a bit tough at the moment, but uh, that would be the first goal, and to make sure that the buyer follows the same company culture and what my vision would be. That's with Share, and then with Nest Navigate, eventually in 12 months, starting to API our software into larger lending institutions, because we know that large banks or even large mortgage brokerages, they have a huge pool of home buyers that they think that they can help, but they can if they were just, the client was more educated. They just don't know how to educate them. So starting to API into some of these banking institutions and being their go-to solution to convert more home buyers.
Right. If you could solve one major challenge today in real estate education, um, whether it's on the professional side or consumer side, what would it be?
That home ownership is absolutely possible. That just because you have debt or you have, if bankruptcy, I've seen crazy things happen at Share that we're able to do, and we've never had a missed payment or foreclosure. So passing that knowledge along, that don't wait to try and afford a $10 million home. Uh, just start now and you're going to get the education you need, just going through the process. So that's, I think the misconception is a huge deterrent for home buyers even clicking ads, because they think, I can't, it's not for me, I have too much debt, but they don't quite understand that they can't afford it. So that's what I would like to solve, is that misconception, which I know a lot of companies are trying to, but I don't think we've actually crack the code. So hopefully our educational curriculum will solve a little bit of that.
Right. So how do you envision the future of real estate transactions and home buyer preparation?
Heavily towards AI, no doubt, and with some incorporation uh, of a coin currency, and make it just more flexible. I think no matter what, we need realtors and loan officers because the higher a purchase price of anything, whether it be a car, I mean, there's still car dealerships, even though we have companies like Carvana, or there's many companies you can order on your phone. But you need someone, especially with not, it's not a car. This is like such an emotional purchase, uh, that we do need realtors and loan officers. But I think that I'm confident that we need to introduce some other variable elements that can help companies like or verticals like title insurance. So helping with blockchain, so it's just more secure. I mean, there's a lot of title fraud that goes on, where people say they own the home, they get wired, and they don't own the home at all, and the money's gone. So if we could secure it, and we actually, so when I was teaching, I was a case study for Duke University Master of Science in Computer Programming, and blockchain is one of the elements that I was working with the students with, and this is actually what they had built. Uh, it's on the back burner, but I think for title companies this will be tremendous. So real estate needs to be more open, both on the lending side and the real estate side, about technology, and not be intimidated that it's not there to take their jobs. And I've been asked many times, why don't we just cut out realtors or loan officers? It can't happen. Um, and there's companies that have tried and they fail. So uh, technology needs to be adopted. And it's way too slow of an adoption rate at this time.
Agreed. Eric, this has been absolutely fascinating. I really enjoy your combination of technical expertise and your genuine innovation for solving housing challenges. Um, where can our listeners connect with you and learn more about Share and Nest Navigate?
Yeah. Well, I want to say thank you very much, Marco, for having me. This was a delightful conversation. Hopefully, we get to do it again soon. And if you're listening, hopefully you are because you're watching this now. Is to connect with us, just visit nestnavigate.com. And for Share, visit shareahome.com. And that's CHER is a spelling. Uh, Otherwise, you can find me on LinkedIn if you ever want just to speak with the CEO. No problem. I'm very open.
Awesome. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Marco.